Yeah, so the last episode, right after that, we got in the car and drove down to the Waste Management.
Good old
Good little
Scottsdale.
trip. Good times. We were definitely shooting some products, shooting some of our new stuff coming out. Most importantly, though, we were there for the giveaway winners. So if you follow us on social, we were doing an epic Scottsdale giveaway to one random person and a guest, so 2 people total.
Yep.
We randomly picked it. We grabbed somebody from Illinois, our boy George.
George.
He brought
Yeah,
his
George and Tobin.
George and Tobin, and they had a blast. So we flew them out to Arizona. We put them up in a nice hotel. We got them tickets to the Waste Management. We I don't know. We went out with them. We had dinner.
I mean, we had a tea time to go actually
Yeah,
play
we did.
golf, and it was pissing rain on Thursday.
Bro, I know it was like last week was like
Nice.
sunny, like 70s, 80s.
It's back to sunny there
This
too.
week,
This then
70.
the week we went, it was literally cloudy, pissing rain all week.
Well, I was happy because they were like super cool guys.
They
so
were
like
super
when
chill.
we told them like, hey, the tea times got canceled, we're going to Putting World.
Yeah.
They could have been dicks,
They
because
were
that's
going-
worse. It's
Yeah, they were
obvious. I
going to Putting
mean,
World.
it was still fun, but it's not as fun
Yeah.
as golfing for 4 hours. And
I
they
mean,
could have
no.
been dicks about it, but they were super cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
that
were
I mean, it wasn't
weather-
our fault. So,
No,
but
that-
still, you could
yeah.
get someone who's like that.
Yeah.
That weather was bizarre. I mean, you guys didn't play Wednesday. What were you doing Wednesday? Oh, you met with
Business.
Shady Rays.
Yeah, we did
You're
Shady
doing
Rays.
business
Working.
stuff?
Actually working. What were you doing?
Yeah, golfing.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm
nice.
gonna.
Nice,
it's the
man.
prelude to this. Is I was golfing Wednesday and it was nicer weather than Thursday. Luckily, we didn't play. I mean, at the end of the day, Wednesday, all of us were just freezing cold.
Oh my God,
It was
it was hot.
raining the whole time. The course was soaking wet. You got muddy.
And then-
you were hitting a shot and it was windy, so you'd hit a shot out of the fairway in casual water. You couldn't get any relief. And then all of it would come back onto you and just cover you. You saw my black hat just covered in mud.
Yeah, you looked pathetic.
Yeah, you showed up, and I was like, thank God I didn't go golfing.
It was a
I'm like, you
scene.
going to dinner like
Dirt
that?
on his
Really?
hat.
Yeah, it was a scene. So that was Wednesday. Thursday would have been an absolute no-go. But we did go to Putting World.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out Putting World's pretty cool. It's in Arizona. It's like an indoor, not mini golf. It's like real putting. Like it's all AstroTurf, right? But it's all
It's like putting practice.
putting practice. That's a good way to put
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So that was, and then there's 18 holes. So we were able to do that with them. They've got a full bar and
Yeah.
kitchen, restaurant. They carry some of our product. So that was cool. They had a good time with that.
Putting World did not pay us for that plug, by the way. No, that was just all natural.
And then Friday, so then after that, we went back to the house. We drank, we cooked dinner. It was a great time. Then Friday, you guys talk about it. You went to the People's Brand for the
Yeah.
People's Open. We did the Waste Management the right way. We didn't
Yeah.
get some box, some sweet. You guys got up at 3:30 in the morning and went
Well,
there.
me and Stu were talking about it, and we had no idea what time to actually show up. We tried to talk to some people. Some people are like, yeah, I've showed up at 1. I showed up at 5.
1 a.m.?
Yeah.
Bro,
someone said they showed up at 1 a.m.?
someone on Saturday said they got there at 11 o'clock
Yeah.
the night before.
And they were the first ones, probably?
Yeah,
That's
Probably.
dumb, man.
Well, anyway, so we were like, so basically, what I'm trying to say, we had no idea what time we were supposed to show
Yeah,
up.
I don't know. I mean,
So-
we thought, we were like 4 a.m., let's be there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're like, oh, no, we'll probably be the first
Oh
ones.
yeah, we'll be the first one. So we got the Uber from the house. We scheduled it. It left the house at 3:30. We were there in line at 3:50 in the morning, and we like pulled up, and I was expecting to see nobody. But as we got closer and closer to TPC, you saw guys like walking and
yeah.
some weird costumes and stuff. So then we got to the main gate, and there was probably 150 other people there.
At least.
It was a wide gate though, so like the gate was probably like 50 yards across. So we were only like 10 people back.
And there was like four.
on the
was it
right
like
side.
4 or 5 sections?
Yeah,
Like
4 or 5
of it.
sections.
Yeah.
So then we got there at like 4, and then basically just had to stand in line for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
or an hour 15. At
dumb.
5:15, they opened the first gate, and the lady kept coming up trying to speak into like the megaphone. She was like, "Hey guys, don't storm the security gates. What I repeat, do not storm the security gates. We're going to walk to the next checkpoint."
Like, keep it slow.
And everyone's like, fuck walking, we're going to run. And then she was like, no, we are walking to the next security point. Do not storm the security gates or you will be apprehended. So everyone was just kind of like looking at each other.
And
Like,
then there's like people in line. They're like, "What did she say?" And they're like, "Oh, she just had to walk." And they're like, "Fuck that."
and some people were like, wait, what did she say? And they're like, I don't know. She said run and be super violent on the way to the next checkpoint. So they opened it at 5:15 and like at first, probably like the first 5 seconds, people were walking through the security and it would beep and then that person would just take off. And then like 5 seconds
sprint.
in, people were just storming the security guard.
yeah.
So like 2 things to the left, they had the beepers. One of them got knocked over. People just kept running
Because
through
they're like,
the
when they're going
security.
through, they're like, everyone's single file,
Yeah.
and then everyone's just storming.
But you're still not running to your seats yet at this
No,
point.
no, no,
You're
no,
still
no.
just running to get
This is
through
running
to
into
wait
an-
again.
into another gate to wait.
To wait
But
again.
we didn't know because
Yeah, I
they
didn't know
never
that.
told us like, hey, you're running to this
Yeah.
point and you're waiting.
Yeah.
And the videos I had seen, you run to the bridge. You know where the bridge is
Yeah, yeah.
at the main gate? That's where you stopped. So we start sprinting. We take a right, take another right, come running down the hill, and I see people going under the bridge and then going left.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh fuck.
So I was like, oh shit, we're about to run the whole mile.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's a
what I thought.
mile from the start point.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck. And then everyone in front of me started slowing down, like, guys, it's gonna be a marathon. Like, pick your pace.
Yeah.
And then like we started slowing down a little bit. And then once we got to the top of the hill, then they stopped us and put us in like a tiny, tiny area.
I felt like a cage. I felt like honestly, I've never felt more like a caged animal than what I was like right now.
Really?
And
Like, I
peop-
felt like cattle. It was literally cattle in a barn
because
being herded.
Because I was behind you and we didn't know that you guys gotten stopped by a gate, so we just
Bro,
kept
yeah, well,
going forward.
Bro, I thought I was
and
like
just packing
right when we passed through the gates. I was like, all right, fuck, here we go. Got to make up ground like quick because like
Mm-hmm.
this is it. Like it's like a mile to the hole. Like we're going. So I like took off, started passing people, and then like when you turned left, they like sectioned it off. It's like you didn't have the whole pathway.
No, it was
You just
tiny.
had like a tiny little gate.
It was probably 10 feet wide.
Yeah, it was tiny. So I was like, oh fuck, this is tight. Like no way I'm passing people. And then like we stopped,
And then we stopped.
and I was
then,
like, I was probably like 1, 2, 3, like 4 rows back from the very front.
yeah.
So I was like, there were like 20, 30 kids in front of me.
And we all
Okay.
got separated because it was absolute chaos.
Yeah.
And I gave Stewie my phone because
Yeah.
his ticket was on my phone.
So this is where I can interject because I wake up and this point is what 6:30.
Yes.
Probably.
Was.
Or
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, it was like 6
Probably
a.m.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. And I remember I was waking up at this point.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I texted Liam, nothing. Called him, nothing. Called Stewie, nothing. And I'm like, fuck. These 2 idiots got arrested. They brought in.
Why is that your
You
first?
know,
why
Because
was
we
that
brought
your-
in beer,
yeah,
beer
'cause-
sleeves.
bro, yeah, like
you were
we-
bringing in beer
bro,
sleeves
so,
and
like-
hats,
like,
giving
we
it
brought
away.
in- we were like had like 2 full beer sleeves and like a fireball and shit. So like when we got through the first gate, we're like, fuck, we can't bring this in. Like we
Yeah.
gotta drink it all now. So we're pounding.
Could you have
shotgunning
gotten it through
beers.
or no?
Oh,
Probably
I
because
could've just
it was
sprinted through
beeping
it,
and
yeah.
people weren't getting
But
stopped.
like me and Lee are like we like shotgun like 3 beers like each at like 6 a.m. or like 5
no,
a.m.
it was, yeah, it was 5.
Yeah, it was literally just
Before they
awful.
opened the first gate.
And so like there's just a bunch of frat boys there. Like there's like a frat from USC, like all dressed in banana costumes and shit.
Yeah,
and like we
I
like
saw those guys.
literally during that first run, it's probably like 0.2 miles.
Yeah.
Like we get up there and everyone's like, oh god, I'm gonna yak, and then like everyone starts going to the side and like throwing up and stuff. And
People
it's
were
like-
throwing up
they
in
were
that
literally
line?
Throwing up in the line, bro. We were waiting there. I was literally waiting in line, literally just with my hands to my sides, just like this, and did not move, standing straight up for 3 hours.
And then I bumped into the giveaway winners. I was trying to find Stewie, couldn't see him, couldn't see Will. I thought Will was dead.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
Yeah.
and then I like kind of turned and the giveaway winners were like 2 people behind me. So they jumped up in line next to me.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Where's your phone?" And I was like, "Well, Stewie has it, so I'm just going to have to stand here for the next 4 hours with no phone."
I stood there too with no.
but you
phone.
had 2 phones.
I had 2 phones, but I didn't use them.
But that's your own fault. I was just standing there with my
he
thoughts.
could have felt it vibrating and been like, oh, something.
And
Nick's
then
calling me 5 times.
luckily, Tobin, the giveaway winner, had Will's number, and Will was texting Tobin like, "Hey, Nick's worried that Stewie and Liam are dead. Do you have eyes on them?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Tell Will to send us Nick's number. I'll call him from Tobin's phone."
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and Nick was like, "Hey, this is Nick," and I was like, "Hey, it's Liam. We're alive. Like we're in line. I just don't have my phone."
Yeah.
And it was fine. But
So you get through you wait. So for people who are doing this next year,
Yeah.
you kind of get into a big herd. Then you got to go through security. Then everyone's running, being stupid, but you're gonna wait anyways.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you get there at 4 a.m. Let's call it, and then you get through security. And by the time you're in this cattle herd, with 10 feet wide at the gate,
So small.
No
what
space.
time
It
did they
was,
open?
it was as wide as this table.
So we got to that second gate at like 5:20 because it was like a couple minute run.
Yeah.
And then they told us at 7 they're letting you guys run to your seats.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, hour and a half, hour and 40. Like that's not awful. I was like, I can stand here with no phone for then.
Yeah.
Until then, 7 o'clock comes and the gates aren't opening.
Yeah.
And then people are going on Twitter around me and they're like, oh no, play was at 8 or play was at 7:30. Now it's pushed back to 8:30.
Yeah.
So that's another hour. So instead of 7, they're letting us in at 8.
But it wasn't because we saw people on like the 14 green or like some we saw guys playing.
And nobody was telling us anything, so we
No.
were just all completely in the
Well,
dark.
like so I'm like in the front So like I can hear what they're all telling us in the front, and there's just like cops, and they're just like waiting. They're like, all right, we're gonna go 7. Nah, like we can't do it. We're gonna go 7:30. And we're all like, why? And they like wouldn't say anything. I'm like, all right, we'll go 8. And like finally it was like 8:15, and they're like, guys, like we're making you wait because we needed the sun to come out to like melt the frost off the stairs.
On the stairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, people are gonna get hurt. Like, who cares if it's like?
Yeah, I bet it would be slippery. I heard him like yelling when you were running.
Yeah,
like, it's
they're like-
icy.
yeah,
It's
they're like,
icy.
slow down, slow down. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
So then like 7:30 came, didn't let us in. 8 o'clock came and everyone's like, all right, 8 o'clock, it's gotta be now. It's been 2.5 hours. Still didn't let us in.
Bro, and, like,
they let us
people-
in at 8:35.
People with like they had the news cameras there like all the time. Like, people
Yeah.
like asking like big news cameras like asking like oh like let's get the crowd going like well like and all the guys were just like fuck you like let us in and, like just like wouldn't say anything. We're just like shitting on them.
And
It was,
like we had
hilarious.
3 beers, but there was like guys next to us who brought in like full bottles of Fireball, like handles,
And downing
and they
it.
were just passing it around to each other, just taking like massive swigs.
Bro, we were standing in line for 3 hours. There was literally a kid next to me. He's like, bro, I gotta piss. Just literally started pissing standing up.
just where everyone's standing.
Where everyone's standing, just literally started pissing.
that was everywhere.
We're like, we need piss cups. They were like, can we get some piss cups? Like, let's get some
Oh,
piss
no.
cups. People literally brought them cups, like literally a cup this big. The kids would start pissing in the cup, like
And then
like,
chug it?
like throw it on the ground, like pinch it off, and like do it again, like toss it on the ground.
I did that.
It was
Bro, you know I have to pee 100
yeah,
times.
You have a scroll bladder.
So I
Yeah.
jumped over the gate one time because there was like a kind of like a cement banner, I guess, that was like 5 feet tall.
What thing?
Like, you know, the cement thing on the left side that was, then there was a
Oh,
fence on the
yeah,
other
yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah.
I jumped between this big wall and the fence, be between that twice, and then like cops were starting to come in, so it was like getting sketchy to jump back and forth. So I asked the frat guys, I was like, hey, can you guys just like stand around me real quick? So I just had to piss in a bottle like 3 different times.
You're
Luckily,
disgusting, man.
luckily for you, no one's gonna see what you're doing there. They're
No,
not
there's
gonna
like
be able to tell
there's
what's going on
thousands of
because
people.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need a magnifying
Yeah,
glass.
for sure. But so you get in. They open the gate. They finally open the gate,
Yeah, I finally opened.
and you're like 30th in line.
Yeah,
and now you're like,
Stewie was like 15th.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He
but
was
they're
up-
okay. You're up there.
yeah,
There's 15, 30 people
They're
in front
probably
of you.
20 kids ahead of me. Yeah,
So there's 20 kids ahead of you. They open the gate, and then everyone's sprinting.
it's just a beeline.
And you're super fast. So you're like, oh shit, I gotta. And then, but
Evan,
then
can
you
you pull
realize
the
your
video of
competition.
his GoPro footage
Bro,
up?
but like not even because like when we were standing in line, all the frat guys from like USC, they were like all dressed in banana costumes, you know, and he was like all the fast bananas, like get to the front of the line, like you know what to do, and like he said to one kid, like whatever his name is, let's just say his name's Cam. He's like, Cam, like you're the fastest, like get up there, save us seats, like you better be first. And the kid's like, bro, like I got this, like I can run 2 miles in 20 minutes. And I'm like, it's fucking terrible. That's horrible. And like it's like a mile run to the hole.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just like honestly heard that and was just like chuckled, and I was like, wow, you guys are trash. And like there's like a girl behind us too, and she's like, are you guys all like pretty athletic and fast? And the kid's like, yeah. We're all like pretty decently athletic. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're all like
Yeah, frat
drunk
boy.
and fat and
all
out of
frat
shape,
boys,
frat
yeah,
guys.
banana
Look at this guy. Speaking of,
Yeah.
look at who you're pushing.
I'm like, get out of my way.
Yeah, so this was Stewie. This was like right at the start. So they're like, all right, gates.
Stewie
and
was
you
wearing
can-
a body
gates
cam.
open. I'm wearing a GoPro on my chest.
So
All
this
these
is what it
kids-
was like.
Bro, the one kid in front.
There's a
actually-
good 30 people in front of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, the one kid in front like literally took off on a beeline dead sprint.
And
And,
it
so
was-
like I'm just like running, and I'm like I'm probably like a 60% pace right
Woo! There was a few guys in front of me who were like, guys, we've done this before. It is not a sprint. Like
This
you
is the kid
it's
that's in
a,
front.
It's a steady
He
state
was
run.
number one, and now he's out,
now.
right?
Yeah, and
He's
I'm
just
I'm
like winded.
I'm like trying to talk to him. I'm like, bro, do you know where to go? Because I don't know where to go. I was like, you know where this shit's at? And he like wasn't saying anything, so I had to keep asking him because he wasn't responsive.
And we had to cut this video down, but it was like 4.5 minute run, and you were
Oh,
like
yeah.
at a good pace for
Yeah, yeah.
4.5 minutes.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
probably like what 6.5
I
minute mile.
probably ran 0.9 miles in like
Yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah, it was pretty far.
How did you know where to go? Because there's so many different.
We didn't really.
I didn't. The kid was just like, yeah, just keep running straight, and I was like, all right, see ya. I just ran past him.
Really?
Yeah. But then like they finally like gated it.
And there
off,
was
but-
all those guys in the costumes,
Yeah.
and I was probably like 60 people back maybe at the start.
Yeah.
And
It was like, good job, you won.
Yeah, good job, you won. What do you have to say?
Then this dumb girl was like,
How does it feel?
How does it feel to be number one? It's Macy's, baby.
You
funny.
can't tell. It does look kind of icy.
I mean,
but-
Yeah,
it was
it
just
is
like
frost-
It was just
frost
like
for sure.
It was just like wet.
but
Yeah.
the best part, I think, kind of sad, but I was running down the cart path, and it gets like steep. So everyone's kind of like slowing down. I was like, oh shit, this is the time to speed up going
Yeah.
down the hill. And some guy must have thought the same thing and took
In a
like
hot
a
dog.
weird step in a hot dog outfit,
Yeah.
pulled his hamstring. I see him pulling up, like hopping on one leg, pulling his hamstring. And I was running by him because I was talking to that guy in line. I was like, no, hot dog, he pulled his hamstring.
Hot dog down. Yeah, there's like a few hot dogs, and like in line, like they're like the bananas would be like, "Yeah, fuck the hot dogs," and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, whoa,"
Just starting shit
yeah,
back
just like
and
literally
forth.
just like stirring the pot. It was pretty hilarious.
But it was kind of bullshit because I got there. Stewie was 1. I was probably like 30. There wasn't that many people who got there before
yeah.
20, something like that. But and I knew Stewie. I was like, Stewie, just get there first. Like, I'm not gonna sprint all the way out. Just save us seats.
Yeah.
I pulled in. And I'm like, Stewie, like, where's our seats? And he was just looking at me. He's like, bro, the front row is already taken. They sell those for VIPs.
yeah, that's the dumbest
Which is
thing
kind of
ever.
bullshit. Like, we're waiting
like,
in line
literally-
since 3
But how
a.m.
come you
all the
guys
good-
didn't get the second row?
I mean, like I was just like at that point, I'm like, this is dumb. I'll just wait for Lee. Like it doesn't.
And then we
matter.
just waited for the
Is
giveaway
there really a
winners
difference
and
if you're in
Will.
the second row or
Oh,
like 10
yeah,
feet up?
okay.
in the
So then
second
we're
row?
like, so means originally we were like 3 rows back.
Yeah.
And then Will texted us like, hey, we have 2 seats. Come hang out with us. And we're like, yeah, let's just
fuck
hang
it,
out with the
fuck it.
winners.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
for sure.
We were
Being
also-
the 3rd row and the 10th row
we
is
were
no
also like
difference.
surrounded by all the bananas.
Oh, shit.
All the UFC, like the UFC.
There was
crowd.
probably 20 of them,
Bro, there's
25.
probably 25, 30 of them. There's so many, but they're being so obnoxious.
Oh, God.
Bro, oh my God. And like, the guy would just be like, there's like pledges there and stuff. And like,
Yeah.
the guys would be like, yo, pledge, like, give me your shoe. And the kid would be like, what? He's like, yeah, give me your shoe. Like, someone pissed on mine. So the pledge, like, literally gave him his shoe. And like, he was just like screaming, being
That's
so
soft.
obnoxious.
This is how early it is. You
Like,
can
so
see
this is where I was, standing in line. Like,
This
I'm
is
like,
just waiting in line.
yeah, this is waiting in line. This is probably like 5 a.m.
yeah, those were the cops telling him like, hey, 10 minutes, 15 more
Yeah.
minutes, and just kept going up and up
And you know
up
those
and
cops
up.
don't want to be there dealing with
not
all
at
these
all.
drunk degenerates.
Yeah, no.
No, I felt bad for him, but
Bro,
That's
like,
the last
but then
thing
like
they
the
wanna do.
bananas are being so obnoxious. People started like they were selling bananas like just like
yeah,
at
the,
the
like the 2 pieces of food they were selling were bananas and hot dogs.
and like so it's the weirdest
The
thing.
people in the banana costumes?
No.
Or-
The
Concession
waste
stand.
management concessions.
Oh, you could buy them waiting in line?
No, once we got to the
Once we got to the
stage.
stands.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Concessions.
and everyone was starving, so everyone was obviously buying hot dogs and bananas. So everyone was buying bananas and then throwing them at the guys in banana
throwing the
costumes.
banana peels.
So me and
Oh.
Stewie were sitting next to the bananas, and we just
You know
kept
you
seeing
gotta
like
leave.
banana peels
Oh, yeah.
flying over our
And we're like,
heads.
bro, we're outie.
And we're like, bro, let's go sit by Will and them. Like, let's hang out with them. First of all, second of all, I'm not trying to get hit by a banana.
No.
And the whole day we were there, they were just getting shit chucked at them.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Empty fireball shooters, like
Cups.
beer cans, cups,
Banana peels.
bananas, hot dogs. One person threw a full hot dog.
Yeah.
Not even eaten. They paid $8 for a hot dog and chucked it
Just
at
threw it. I rate
chucked
that.
it at his
I
head.
Love that.
So
At
the
the
whole
hot dog guy?
Yeah, no, at the bananas.
at the banana
At the
guy.
banana guy?
So the whole day we were like, thank God we moved away from those guys because we
Yeah.
would have gotten hit in the
So
crossfire.
if you're that frat at USC, you guys are really hated. Honestly, people hate you guys.
At the waste management.
They were
Yeah,
funny,
waste
though.
management. They were funny.
I mean, it was.
Um,
I think next year when we do it again, we could definitely show up at like 5:15, and just still make it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if you're in the 2nd row or the 20th row. It's still a fun time.
It's actually better if you're in the 20th row because everyone's
get
throwing
balls.
the balls in the crowd. That's where they're going. They don't
Yeah.
throw them in the front.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys caught 2 balls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, George got a ball. Shout out George.
Sam Burns threw his
Yeah,
ball, and
Sam
you
Burns.
don't know. You,
And I don't know.
Stewie assaulted some girl to
I
get a
didn't
ball.
assault. You literally saw it, bro. In the video, you literally see Liam yells, "Watch for the bounce back!" Literally, exactly what happened. She went up to try and catch it.
I knew she wasn't gonna catch
like,
it.
Didn't catch it. Then like rolled onto the stands, and then I just like grabbed it like from like right there.
It was literally.
I didn't shove anybody. There's video proof.
Because it was going right over our heads, and I knew there was a group of girls behind us, like, Stewie, loose ball.
Yeah,
And I
loose
knew
ball.
they were going to
Yeah.
drop it. And of course they did.
And I got it. I don't know whose ball. It
I
was.
think,
Some
I mean, if I were you, yeah, it's cool. It's good content. But, like, you did, I don't know. I guess next year the content piece is really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I. Will
But
do
I don't know if you do it
next year.
again. And we've talked about, like, doing something. I'm not going to get those VIP seats, but.
I mean, this is how wild it is. Like, I
bro,
mean,
it's crazy.
I would do it again because it was so much fun being in that group.
yeah.
It was so much fun being, like, in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we were chugging beers.
chugging
There's
beers
the
at
winners.
5 a.m.
George
So this was the
Joe
first gate, yeah, and then we ran to the second one.
George, absolute trooper, shotgun and a beer at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's how tiny the thing
Yeah,
was.
that's
that
very,
they
very
wrangled
small.
us into.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that was, and it was crazy because we talked to some guys later. Well, the PGA Tour posted a video like the first people running
Yeah,
to
that
the
was such
16th hole.
bullshit. Yeah, actually.
And that was not the first people. So
No.
once we got in there, they shut off behind us. So they let in probably like 1,000 people
Yeah.
into the left where we were, like in the cattle area. and then they moved the gates back like 200
Oh,
yards.
and
Yeah.
then all those people ran.
Because you saw the video
Bro, they
under
posted-
the bridge.
they posted
That wasn't the
video
first people.
Yeah,
at, like,
yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah.
9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and I was talking to those guys, and they were like, "How did you guys get such good seats?" I was like, "Well, we went around the left to the corner," and they're like, "Oh, really? They wouldn't let us go around." And I was like, "Yeah, well, they let the people who were there at like 4 a.m. get a little bit of a head start, and then they shut off the gate, which was
Yeah.
kind of nice, but
But it's still like because my brother like took a picture. He's like, "Oh, is this you in the front?" And I'm like, "What?"
That was
video?"
behind
I'm
us.
like, "What video?"
I
even
do. I
is
remember
that?"
seeing. I was wondering that because it's like those weren't the
I'm
guys.
like,
I
that-
didn't see the
that
banana
was
guys.
way
in there.
behind
Yeah,
us.
I'm like, that's not even anything. I was like, we were already in before that.
Yeah.
yeah, that was.
Yeah, see, look,
Yeah.
fumble, and then
Look at Stu. He punched that girl right in the head.
It was cut.
I didn't even punch her, bro. I didn't even touch her.
He assaulted her, and this was the beer snake, bro. It was
Bro,
so
Cup Snake
funny.
was crazy.
It was massive. So like it was super rowdy until like 11 o'clock, and then people started.
They started throwing them on the
Oh,
course.
dude, yeah, just wait.
People started dying down at like 11 o'clock because like the lines for the alcohol was so long. People were getting tired. There was like an hour wait for the next group of golfers
Yeah, it was like
for some
a really
reason.
long, in between.
Yeah, the next round because they were finishing the first.
So there was
first
like
round.
a long wait, and like the vibes definitely started dying.
yeah.
And then for some reason, I don't know what happened.
They showed another cup snake on the big screen.
That was smaller, way
That
smaller.
was like smaller, and everyone in our group was like, "Get the fucking cups!" And
Yeah.
everyone just started like some guys started it, and then literally people just started hurling cups,
Yeah.
like just throwing all
In
their
that
cups
direction.
In that direction, doesn't even matter. Like they were
Really?
just throwing cups.
And then they built that whole beer snake that went like the whole length of the crowd, and then everyone started chanting "on the green, on the green." So that was that video Will got of them literally throwing all the cups onto the green.
hell. Yeah.
People just started throwing like hot dogs
Bro,
and
everything and like while they're,
fireball
like,
shooters.
while we're making the cup snake, we're like chanting USA, like USA, USA.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just comedy. Liam's like the people in Europe could not even comprehend what's
So
happening.
what's funny about this, and you saw some commented a couple times. If you follow Pins and Ace on Instagram, got a couple of top comments. But like you saw, first off, the Waste Management and the tour absolutely love this because it's huge PR. There's
Yeah.
obviously 700,000 people that are
Bro,
going to
yeah,
this
that's
event.
ridiculous.
And when you're throwing this stuff on the ground, it's great publicity for the Waste Management. They're picking up trash.
Yeah,
come
that's
out with their
literally-
trash
that's
cans.
They
literally
come out
what
with
it's
a
all
trash
about.
can
Yeah.
and it's on camera.
Yeah.
So, secretly, they love this. Secondly, is it secondly? Second, whatever.
Yeah, secretly, yes, they love it.
Yeah, okay. Zach Johnson lost his mind
yeah.
on like a fan. And then he came out today and said, I've been playing on the tour for 21 years. It's been this bad
saw that.
ever since I started. It's like, well, bro, don't play in the event, number one.
What, the banter he's talking about?
Just the tournament in
the
general is too
rowdiness.
rowdy.
Oh,
and
Waste
he's like,
Management?
and he's just bitching about that it's too rowdy.
No.
And I commented and just said soft AF, which it was. And then like I just get like a bunch of people like, yeah, like this is what I came here to say, and then other people are like, oh, bro, like Pins and Aces, like your brand sucks, and it's like you're a keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
I'm like,
people were saying that to the pins account, like bunch of keyboard warriors.
I'm like, bro, the comment below was John Peterson, a former tour player, played at LSU, won an NCAA, took fourth in the U.S. Open. He commented soft, and he's been on the PGA Tour. And it's like, it is soft. This event, if you don't like this type of event, Zach Johnson has millions of dollars. He's been a great player. He's won 2 majors. Just don't show up.
Yeah, just don't
Do you
play.
need the money, or do you want to
Bro,
just
the stuff
look
that
bad?
they say in the crowd where we're at is criminal.
Yeah, it was funny.
Like, they're booing the shit out of him. Like, just, they're saying some criminal stuff.
I get that, and like some of that is a little okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, it is the Waste Management.
It's all
getting,
college kids,
You're
it.
getting paid millions of dollars to play golf a year. If I was in that position, I'd be like, bro, bring it on. Like last year,
Yeah.
Joel Damon like taking his shirt off
Yeah,
on the
that's
par
hilarious.
3. That's the vibe you want.
It's
Yeah.
funny because you can tell some of the guys like play into it. Like Ricky Fowler, like when he was putting, everyone got quiet, and then he like stepped off the putt and he went like this and was like, "Come on," to the crowd, like, "Let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
So
They
like,
made
it's,
it.
and then like some
JT
people
loves
just
it.
hate it.
Yeah.
But it's like if you hate it that much, just don't play in the event, or honestly, just you got to suck it up for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Suck it up for 4 rounds.
I mean, what other sport like can you not get rowdy?
Bro, but like, even like we saw, like, I didn't see one person not like playing 16. Like, even the guy would hit it to like 20 feet or like miss the green, and like all of them walking up, like we would boo him, but like they would just start laughing.
Yeah,
like, they loved it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's obvious. Like everyone in that crowd
Yeah,
is probably
like,
an
we don't care.
awful golfer.
Yeah.
It's just jokes.
It's all-
They're
yeah, it's
booing
all
you
banter.
for being 20 feet from the pin. It's clearly a joke.
Yeah.
They don't think you're a shitty golfer.
Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Clearly.
Like, it's still a good shot. People would be like 25 feet from the pin and getting booed, and like people were like, "Why- don't take that to heart. It's a joke, clearly.
Seriously.
And then they'd sink a putt for birdie, and everyone would go nuts, or like a par and putt, and everyone would go nuts.
Yeah.
And everyone would be like, ball, 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 and like asking. For the
Yeah.
ball, like,
What was the
after
movie
everyone.
that it was like?
Bro, it was like Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all those birds. Like,
Yeah.
What do
Oh
they
yeah,
say?
yeah.
What do they say?
What do they say? Mine.
It's just
Mine?
like chirping. Is that
Mine?
what
I
they
think they're
say?
asking mine.
What is that? Pull that
Mine.
clip up, Evan. What is it?
Mine.
Finding Nemo.
And everyone just started going,
When they're
"Ball,
trying to get the
ball,
fish."
ball,
Yeah,
ball."
they're trying to get the fish. Yeah, yeah. And like
like,
everyone would
mine,
go ball,
mine.
ball, ball.
Yeah,
It
and everyone was doing it in the
hilarious, bro.
voice, and it was just like all over 16. Ball, 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 ball.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
yeah,
I
that's
would definitely
funny.
do it again, but I think we could show up at 5:15, and just be
Bro,
middle
yeah.
of the section.
Is this Finding Nemo?
Yeah. Oh, it is mine.
Yeah, it is mine. What are they saying
See?
mine? Like to the fish? Like they're saying the fish is mine?
I guess.
Yeah. You don't have to pull it up, Evan. It's fine.
It's hilarious.
But it is, yeah, they're just like asking for it. But yeah, overall, I think a really good a trip. It's good to, like, I actually love driving down. It's a good drive. Don't drive home. It's
not a
2
good-
years in a
it's
row
not
where
a
I've
good
flown home. So I'm not. I'm
We
not
had to do the
no,
drive
we
home.
had to-
Yeah, we had to drive,
Yeah.
man.
You,
It's a great trip. You drive there, I fly back. Yeah, only some.
Yeah.
It's fun. You're excited. You get down there.
Yeah. We did the photo shoot down there though. That was good too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense for our brand as well. Like, it was kind of funny seeing other brands like in boxes, being away from all the people.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool for us to be in the crowd, talking to people, giving stuff away, like giving out gift cards.
Yeah, people love that. We brought like
Taking
500
pictures
we brought,
for
like,
people.
100
100
hats
hats,
or
yeah.
whatever. However we
Will
brought.
was like filming like random people and taking pictures for them and like
Yeah.
airdropping it to them in the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
it just felt like more of like, Pins and Aces is in the crowd
Yeah.
with the people who buy our shit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we're about.
Yeah,
true, yeah.
I
Which
think,
was fun.
I think next year too. It's like we should come with way more hats.
We're gonna hire an intern.
way more things.
He's gonna show up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and we'll give him 2,000 hats, and he'll sit in line and just hand out hats.
Yeah. Just give everyone a hat. Everyone that's going there.
It was fun.
And then Rafa texted me too. Rafa finished 20th at the Farmers, but he didn't get into this event. And he's like, bro, next year I'm gonna get into that event, get a good season. He gets into the event because it's an elevated event.
Yeah.
He's got his full tour card, but the tour card thing is really weird. I still don't fully understand. It doesn't mean you get
Bro,
into
all
every
the,
single
all
event.
the stuff you get for winning that event,
Oh, it's crazy.
that's ridiculous. Just
You
like-
win any PGA Tour event, but especially an elevated event. It's like 2-year full exemption in
Yeah.
every elevated event, all, the majors,
Yeah.
the players. It's great, and $1.5 million. But Rafa was like, bro, next year if I'm in that event, I'm gonna bring give me 100 polos, give me 200 hats.
Just start throwing them in the
I'll
crowd.
throw them out. Yeah,
Rafa's
he'll start
winning it
going
next year.
around, swinging them, and I'm like, dude, we'll get you like 5 dozen balls, sign them, and throw them into the crowd.
Bro,
you
throw
know?
bags into the crowd. How
That'd be
funny would that be?
hilarious, bro.
Yeah,
Just like
Just
throw-
like random
yeah, that'd be
shit. Or
sick.
goodie bags. I think Wyndham Clark threw a few goodie bags in there. I saw
he
that
did?
after the fact. I didn't see that live, but I saw on Instagram he had like little goodie bags and was like he tossed like 3 in there. We
That's
should do
sick.
that for Rafa.
Oh yeah, is that what the guy was struggling to
Yeah.
throw up there?
Yeah, he kept
it took him like
missing.
8 times to throw it up. No one could catch it.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful. It was really horrible.
It was
but yeah,
weird.
something like that, like
That'd be dope. Rafa's winning it next year. You heard it here
Load it up.
first. Rafa Compost.
you see his caddy with like
Winning it.
a giant backpack plus
Yeah.
his golf bag
Yeah.
just for the 16th hole.
Carrying all
Hopefully
that
he's like
shit.
teeing off on the back 9 or something that
Well,
day. But
and
be dope.
some guys were playing into it. I can't remember who it was, but some guy put on
A Browns
a
jersey.
Browns jersey.
Yeah.
He played hole 16 wearing a Browns jersey.
bro, Ricky played in a motocross shirt.
yeah, he did that the next
I
day.
I mean, and granted, he bogeyed the hole. He was dog shit. So.
A lot of guys did that the year before. I don't know if they did it this year because you can add like a layer. Like last year, don't you remember like all the Kobe jerseys and all
Yeah.
the jerseys? But it was so cold that they're already wearing like 4 layers.
Yeah.
And then to put something else on, I think it affects their swing. But if you're just wearing a polo, you can hit one shot in a putt in like a Lakers jersey or whatever.
Yeah.
I think this year was a little different, but
He like bogeyed, threw his ball in the crowd, and everyone's like, "Throw it back, throw it back."
Yeah.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever someone would make
like, it's a bad luck
worse
ball.
than par, they'd like throw the ball in, they'd catch it, and they'd chuck it right back onto the green.
Serious?
Yeah, and like some guy would catch it, yeah, they'd start going, throw it back. And if you didn't throw it back, everyone was booing the shit out of you.
If I'm playing in that and I make a bogey, I'm not throwing I would know that was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm
or
not
you just gotta
throwing-
laugh.
Yeah,
Like,
just
I mean,
laugh.
it's just funny.
Yeah.
Who really cares?
Yeah.
I'd run back on the green and throw it back again.
Yeah.
There was some guy who like 3-putted from like 4 feet and like lipped out twice, and he made like a double bogey, and he was just getting ripped, and then he started laughing and like being
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
suck."
Yeah, and then people would cheer. People literally would start cheering.
Yeah, it's just funny.
That's the way to do it. Own
That's
it
the
up.
best part about it.